welcome to Iron Dinos. I'm Sean and I love AEW. They have a video game out, I got it, so let's have a look, shall we, and have a chat about why I love AEW. So we're going to start this off with a dream match that AEW can give us. Christian Cage, one of my all-time favourite wrestlers. I've been a fan of his since the Edge and Christian days. And Bryan Danielson, who has been one of my favourite wrestlers since I got back into wrestling in 2014. This is a main event of any pay-per-view, probably from 7. Unexpected William Regal! Do you know what? This is the recording is from when I first got the game. I'm doing the talking afterwards, but like legitimately, I did not expect William Regal in this. I didn't see it coming. I completely I was overjoyed to see that. So yeah, this is the first thing I did. Like, I got the game, I turned it on right from the start. You can pick the Exploding Barbed Wire Deathmatch, which of course is the first thing you're going to pick. And yeah, from there you can pick your combatants, and as you're having your first go, it will start teaching you how to play the game. So that's what you'll be seeing, a bit of instruction here. So yeah, you can just have a bit of an idea of how to play the game. But really, like, this is catering to people who used to play these video games before the 2K games and stuff like that. Like, it's very arcadey. It's very very basic commands, although there's a lot you can do with it. But we'll see that as we go out. So yeah, so I wanted to do Christian versus Daniel Bryan as my first ever match. Playing as Christian because he's one of my all-time favourites. Fighting Daniel Bryan because, or Bryan Danielson, I should say, because basically, I don't think Bryan Danielson needs me controlling him. He can kick my ass quite fast. I don't think if it was the other way around, Christian would stand too much of a chance. I don't know. I don't know if the characters are weighted like they are in the 2K games and stuff like that, because you've seen how much I've been wailing on Danielson, and he seems to be doing. He's seen until just now. He seems to be doing better than I was, or at least as well. So yeah, you've got to put on the Exploding Barbed Wire Deathmatch first, because I'm sure, like most of us, you wanted to see what was going to happen. We did see some of this in the match, but yeah, you wanted to see what was actually going to happen when it hit the bottom of that countdown, and we've got 20 seconds to go. I also was quite interested because I knew it was, I knew the match was relatively short, so I did wonder to myself, what's going to happen? Like, when all this kicks off, is this just the end of the match? Is this like an insane sprint, and you've got to finish it before before everything goes off? It's pretty cool. No, match just continues. Nobody's dead. Eddie Kingston didn't come and help me. It just carries on as it was, which I guess is fine. I mean, what else could you do? But I mean, you got to put a 5-minute time limit on. At the match end when everything explodes. That's what I would have done. But there we go. So, this was released. I didn't pre-order this. I'm not a big fan of pre-ordering games anyway, but I didn't pre-order this because I'd seen the screenshots and I'd seen a bit of the. I'd seen some of the footage beforehand, and I really did not think this looked good. I thought it looked ugly and unattractive and cheap. So I thought to myself, just why would I want to spend the Elite Edition over here in the UK was 70 quid. Why would I want to spend that? And I did and ah about going 40 quid and just getting the base game, but luckily for me, I found a way to get the Elite Edition for about the price of the normal one. So I'm like, okay, legally, obviously, for my Xbox, I'm like, oh, well, absolutely fine, I'm going to do that then. So I got the Elite Edition, so I've got FTR and Matt Hardy and the other Matt Hardy. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so the point was I wasn't going to... I wanted it because I've been following AEW for a while. I've been following the game's development. You know, Kenny seemed to really enjoy it, and he plays a lot of games and is a nerd and stuff. So I thought I'd give it a go. And I'm glad I did. Because, honestly, so it's a choice, and I think it's quite a good choice. That so the barbed wire and everything looks very cartoony. It doesn't look particularly realistic at all. And I think it takes away from the character models not looking photorealistic. 'Cause they never wanted to go with that. They wanted to give it a bit more of a timeless kind of stylized look. And I think that's worked with them because obviously you don't have the budget to release something like one of the 2K games. I also argue that they haven't been fun in a long time, but full of glitches. But there you go. Now that's ended the way it should. I mean, I was playing as Christian. It was my first ever match. But more importantly, Bryan Danielson is never going to lose to Christian Cage, is he? Let's just be realistic. As much as I love the man. So after that, I decided to have a fatal 4-way. And I wanted to play as another one of my favourites, Hikaru Shida. And this game allows for intergender matches, which is quite interesting because AEW doesn't do that. Impact does, and I very much enjoy it over in Impact. But I decided to pick 3 of the hardest bastards on the roster and the toughest woman on the roster. So I think in a match with Pac, Moxley, and Danielson, Shida could hold her own. So that's what I decided to do for this match. Also, ref is Aubrey Edwards. That's awesome. You can play as her at some point, which is really fantastic. I can't wait to do that. So, yeah. So, what you've seen so far of the gameplay, me playing quite badly, but what you've got is you've got a punch button, which goes up to a series of moves. You've got a kick button, which goes up to a series of moves. The last one knocks them down on each of those. A grapple button, which launches you into a grapple, and you can do various things from there. And you've got a button that I didn't figure out till a bit later on, which does your running, your jumping, your climbing up turnbuckles, and all that sort of thing. So very, very simple. When someone's attacking you, you use one of the buffers to repel the attack or reverse the attack. Same with if they're going for a grapple. Very, very simple. It's all on one button. You can just, you can just stop them nice and easily. It's very, very cool. Very, very easy. Which is what they're going for. But it's fun. Like, I've played a couple of matches between the last match and this. I will be completely honest. I went into the training area, but that doesn't actually teach you how to play the game. That just allows you to practice moves and stuff like that. So I didn't get a lot of benefits, so I just went straight back into this. I thought, to hell with it. We'll just we'll see what happens. But yeah, in a 4-man environment, I think I picked correctly because it gave me a chance to practice the game and the mechanics and just get used to the game a little more. And it's by the end of this, I played for another hour after doing this match, and what I'd learned had already pretty much held me in stead that I'd need to go forward and play the rest of it. Like, I'm far from mastering it. We're still in Tears of the Kingdom territory, so this isn't going to be my main game for a little while, but if I can... there's a good chance this is what I'm going to be playing most of August between Tears of the Kingdom... I might have said Breath of the Wild there. Tears of the Kingdom and Starfield. So, yeah, I'm already of a pretty high opinion that this is very, very fun. As a signature move, boom, Falcon Arrow. You can do that with, you build up a meter, as is typical with these games, and then you have to push the right Is it the right thumbstick? I think it's the right thumbstick. You push it in a direction in a particular time. Most of the signatures and finishers are specific to the character. So Shida did a Falcon Arrow there. You wouldn't be able to do a similar move with Brian. You have to kind of be in the place that they would be to do that signature or that finisher. I have played a bit of Kenny Omega, and I have not been able to pull off his running back of the head knee thing. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. Yeah, so a lot more learning to come. But by the way, I'm very, very happy with how Shida is managing to beat the hell out of his. It's one of the things I had noticed about the game. I will give a bit of a negative. We're in a multi-person environment. The cat, it does get a little locked between characters. As you could see, the three of them were all on their backs in a pinning position there, and I was trying to pin and I couldn't quite get in the position to do it. It took a little while to get round there, but that's, they plan to keep updating and improving this game, so that's maybe a little something to look at. But I'm not going to be with something like this. I'm not going to be overly nitpicky with stuff like that, to be perfectly honest, because yeah, you could argue it's a full-size release and everything like that. You're on the full amount of money for it, but I tend to weigh something like this. I'm not going to play seriously. I'm by and large going to be playing for fun rather than an actual challenge, or I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom because I want the story, I want the challenge, and I do things to make things harder for myself, and I want the exploration of it. This I'm just going to want to turn on for 10 minutes and kick the crap out of someone while slowly going through the roster of my favourite people. So yeah, I'm perhaps not going to be as critical as I could be. I do want to... You probably saw a little bit of the last one. I did make a measly amount of AEW bucks for losing that match against Danielson. So you can use that to unlock other things. So we started with the exploding barbed wire death match. One of the things you can unlock is a second variant of that, which, as per very sadly in real life, you can just... it just won't go off. It will just do the really shitty ending. As you saw there, while I was on the side of the ring, you can pull out stuff from under the ring. I pulled out a kendo stick, which is very appropriate for Hikaru Shida. I don't know if they're all person appropriate, because I think at this time in my playing I hadn't figured out how to actually get out of the ring myself yet, so I didn't go back and try that again. It seemed to disappear after only a couple of hits, and I'm not sure if that's because I think Pac hit me with a glancing blow, and I don't know if that made it disappear, or if you only get a couple of hits per weapon. I say I've only played like an hour and a half of this so far, so a lot more experimentation. This isn't, we're not here to have a pro. If you want to go to IGN or something for a proper review, and they'll take it as a very serious game. I'm just talking about this as an AEW fan who just bought a video game that I happen to quite enjoy. But yeah, it's got a decent roster. There's some more you can unlock, and there was like they've released DLC, which I'm not really a fan of, but there we go. You've still got the Bunny and Keith Lee coming. The Acclaimed have said they're coming. So there's going to be a lot more things. I think it's something like... I think I read it's about 12 or 14 women and 20-something men. It's got a good roster. It's got a lot of the people you'd want. Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and guys like that. It's kind of fun to... I've not put Brody King on because... no, Brody Lee. Sorry, not Brody King. I've not put Brody Lee on because that still makes me very, very sad. But you can play as him. Owen's in here. Punk's in here, of course. Though somewhat de-emphasized. Cody is in the game somewhere. I think I could pick him. Dusty, yeah, loads and loads of fantastic people. Like, none of the newer guys. You're not going to get Jay White and Juice Robinson, but, you know, they've just joined the company. You don't really expect anything like that. Yeah, really, really fun from what I've played so far. I nearly missed the pin there. I was too busy beating up on Jon Moxley. I've really come to like the idea of a Jon Moxley versus Shida match. I think that could be awesome, especially if Shida wins. So, to get out of a pin and to get out of a submission, it somewhat depends on how damaged you are, of course, as is typical. But you've got to mash the 4 main face buttons. There we go. Shida wins! As it should be. Only my second match, and I managed to get a victory through rampant button mashing. Let's see, get an awful lot greater rewards for that. And the last thing I thought I'd show off, because who doesn't love a battle royale? I thought I'd do a battle royale. Because this will really show and test. I'd not noticed before, he's still got the 2 girls dancing with the brooms from the earlier part of his heel turn gimmick. That's fantastic. As you may notice, some of the guys do look a little better than others. I do think that Adam Cole needs a little bit of work. Kenny looks great, Penta looks great, Pac looks great, most of them look great. What does Andrade look like? Andrade looks fine. He's a handsome, handsome man. I'm so happy he's back on Collision, but that's an entirely other thing. I actually didn't get a chance. Like, I was going to. I've picked a bit of a boys' stable for my team. I think I couldn't get it to quite just go through and pick absolutely everyone throughout the whole thing, or I could have just made this an absolute dream match. But the fact is, there's very few people on this roster that I don't care about. Like, all of them I want to play as at some point, or at least kick their asses. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. But yeah, so I put a bunch of guys on a team here. So I've got Kenny, I've got Orange Cassidy. I forget who else I picked for my team. Obviously not Christian, but you know, it's because I picked Christian earlier. But the yeah, so the rosters, the roster is Abaddon, who is a woman. She's not been on AEW TV an awful lot since it started. I find her makeup. Oh, makeup. I think she's not money. I find Abaddon's makeup incredible. Like, I find it genuinely a little hard to look at. It's super gross. One of my favourite debuts in AEW, because they were doing Anna Jay back when she was dressed like Zatanna. And they did a whole video package for her, and they're like, oh, here comes Anna Jay. You're like, oh, okay, she's gonna murder whoever comes out next. This is the start of Anna Jay's push. And then out comes Abaddon and just destroys. That was phenomenal. Got Adam Cole, who you can see, who we've already seen, who we've already dispatched with. Adam Cole, yeah, great addition to the roster. One of the phenomenal finishes to a phenomenal pay-per-view. Him and Bryan Danielson coming out back-to-back. That was absolutely freaking awesome. Hangman Adam Page is in this. A lot of the people you'd expect. Big fan of Adam Page. He got royally screwed on his... Yeah! Tony Khan has a problem booking title reigns for faces. Let's be honest with that. And Adam Page he got all that momentum coming in and then just didn't have a match for a few weeks, and then, you know, he kind of felt like he was spinning his wheels. Then he had that amazing match with Bryan Daniels. I keep getting confused. He is Bryan Daniels. There's a long time of me calling him Daniel Bryan, okay? Yeah, he had that amazing match with Bryan Danielson, which is one of my all-time favourite AEW matches. The one that went to a time limit draw. Was it an hour? I'm pretty sure that was an hour. It was absolutely insane. I was screaming at my screen by the end of that. El Idolo, not the biggest fan of what's been done with him so far. Man oozes charisma. It's hard to say he's a fantastic wrestler because basically everyone on the men's side is, and a lot of the women are, so it's really not fair. But yeah, still waiting for him to get started. But he seems to be fighting the House of Black over on Collision, so that'll do him pretty well. Anna Jay, been a big fan of her since the early days. Her and Tay Conti have a lovely friendship, and she's now just Anna JAS, which is a delightful pun, and I love her so much. She's phenomenal. Brian Cage, a guy I'm somewhat surprised got in this game, because he seems to be one that now that they've got Ring of Honor, he's been used more consistently, but he got the big comeback. He was like the Joker in one of these AEW Battle Royals, and he came out and he lost to Moxley, I believe was champion at the time, and he kind of disappeared mostly, like Lance Archer. Kind of got a similar thing. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, phenomenal character, absolutely has in the past carried the women's division on her character alone. She's awesome. Bryan Danielson was spoken about, you know, one of my all-time favourites. Chris Jericho, perhaps my favourite wrestler of all time. I know, he comes and goes out of vogue, but he has been doing this for a very long time at a very high level, and he's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable wrestler, storyteller, character, and the leader of a best mediocre band. Christian Cage, we spoke about, one of my favourites of all time. Chuck Taylor is, I think they've missed the boat on Best Friends. I think early on in AEW, you could have really done something with them. I think they've been comedy goose for too long, but there's always the chance that they can, him and Trent Beretta can just pull out an unbelievable match at any time. So don't count them out. CM Punk could not have been happier when he came back. Everything he's done on screen, wasn't at a press conference, since coming back has been pretty goddamn phenomenal. Yeah, Cody Rhodes, that is, I mean, you had to leave him in because they'd done so much work with him. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna play as him. I'm probably gonna kick his ass, but I am so happy. I'm so happy with the way things are going for him in WWE. Like, because he kind of fit early on in AEW and quickly stopped fitting there. But he is like a glove in WWE, and is one of the few things I enjoy about watching about that. Darby Allin! He is, I still think he's the dark horse to take that belt off of MJF. I think his connection with the crowd is there. I think his wrestling is there. I think his character is there. I just think he needs a couple. I think he just needs a little something to spark everyone into seeing him as a main eventer. Because at the minute, I think most people see him as a little under that. But yeah, Darby Allin is incredible. Speaking of incredible, Dustin Rhodes. Oh my god, how long... I mean, this guy's been doing it longer than Jericho and can still pull out a consistently very, very good match every time he gets in the ring. Eddie Kingston, not a great character model. Everyone has said that. This is a guy who I knew nothing about, and he came out to try and murder Cody Rhodes, and I instantly fell in love with him. This is like his first appearance in AEW. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, you have to sign this guy immediately. And they did, and yeah, Kingston is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. She'd have already spoken about. She's probably my favourite women's wrestler in the entire company. She's goddamn badass. And I love her weird contrived setting up a chair on the outside, running into it and jumping over it and hitting someone in the face. That's just me. Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is an absolutely astounding physical specimen. It's a creepy way of thinking it. That's how they say it on wrestling, okay? Jade Cargill looks like a goddamn movie star. And over the course of her TBS title reign, she came on leaps and leaps and bounds. Her biggest flaw by the end was that she was just caught in an unending cycle of doing the same thing over and over again. That's not her fault. I think she was fantastic. Also, worked really, really well with Smart Mark Sterling. I like that guy, and I liked him with Jade. Jeff Hardy. I've never much liked Jeff Hardy. I was a Matt Hardy guy when they were the Hardys, and, you know, just look at Jeff's career. He doesn't excite me. He's never excited me in the ring, particularly because he's just kind of falls at people. John Silver, the Meat Man. Yes, love that guy. Bit hard to it's got to be a bit hard to get his kind of weird, unique charisma over in a video game, but I will be playing as that guy. Jon Moxley. I kind of like Dean Ambrose in WWE. I didn't realise that was the thing we were getting instead of Jon Moxley, which is a billion times better. He, to me, is the MVP of AEW last year. Put the company on his back numerous times. He's a phenomenal promo. He's an excellent wrestler. And I'm someone who likes a bit of blood in their matches, so I like his violence as well. Jungle Boy. I really like Jungle Boy right from the start, and he's never been good on a mic. This heel turn is absolutely the best thing that could have happened to him. I really hope he joins back up with Christian and Luchasaurus to be a heel, but even if not, I do think even if this heel turn doesn't work, you can turn him face again and call it like a zero-sum. It's not going to hurt him, but it is worth trying. Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler in the world and perhaps the greatest wrestler who's ever lived. His heel run as AEW champion is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in wrestling, as are his matches with Will Ospreay, a couple of the Okadas. You know, it's Kenny Omega is Kenny fucking Omega. Chris Statlander. She was my favourite women's wrestler from the start of AEW. I actually really like the alien gimmick. I don't see what people saw as a problem with that. She's got a kind of a nerd charisma, and that works for me. Again, she came out pretending she's an alien. That was fantastic. Lance Archer. I think I said earlier I didn't think Lance Archer was in the game, so I don't remember seeing him so far. But yeah, another guy who just kind of appears and disappears. Yeah, they should probably do something more with him because he's excellent. Luchasaurus is now Kane. Kane, not one of my favourite human beings, but he's one of my favourite gimmicks of all time. So, turning Luchasaurus into knockoff Kane, love that shit. Malachi Black is, after a bit of a false start, is probably now head of one of the most interesting and threatening factions of all of AEW. It still kind of feels, despite the fact they have the golden stuff, it still kind of feels like we're waiting for the trigger to be properly pulled on him, which sounds a bit weird, but I don't know how to explain it. He still feels a level below what he can be, but they're still treating him very well. We'll do the Young Bucks together. Certainly one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Perhaps the greatest tag team in the minute. Matt Jackson exploded a super kick. And before that, he and his brother had a trainer which had fucking thumbtacks on it. I love the Young Bucks. They're amazing. Miro's been a bit of a weird one in AEW. He got straight in. Lots of momentum, other than his loss. But lots of momentum, got the TNT title and everything like that. Then he kind of disappeared off TV for the better part of 2 years. He's back on Collision. I can't wait to see what they can do with him. Because with the right kind of... The problem with someone like Miro is that he's got all the potential. Once you start pushing him, he's got all the potential to just go straight and take the world title and have that for a bit. So if that's not your plan for him, I can understand that it's a bit hard to book him, because he's a guy who can lose and no one's going to really turn on him. But I should imagine from his WWE days, he's a guy who doesn't want to just be built up to be someone else's stepping stone. He spent a long time doing that. MJF. MJF is the biggest homegrown success story of AEW, without a shadow of a doubt. The guy... from the start when he was with Cody Rhodes and everyone was going, no, that guy is clearly a dick and is going to turn on you, Cody. He has been fantastic from day one. His character work is astounding, and we are so conditioned to believe that you're either a promo guy or a wrestler, and this guy is both. God knows what he's going to be like with 5 years more experience if he's this good now. Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose has kind of been the... I can't even say end boss. The one from end boss in the women's division since it started. By and large, everyone's first opponent when they win a belt. And then further down the line, when Nyla's turn comes around again... she gets to have another crack. Missed opportunity with Nyla somewhat, because they want her to be the native beast, and she's very, very good at it. That woman is fucking hilarious. Like her with Vicky and even with Marina have been really, really funny on stuff that's not AEW main TV. Like, let her be hilarious. Orange Cassidy. They let him be hilarious. Orange Cassidy is absolutely astounding. It's my kind of gimmick. I like all kinds of silly bollocks, so I was quite into him immediately, but my god, that match with Pac. that was me going, oh, now they're going to have a match, they're going to ruin him. No, the match with Pac was unbelievable, and now we're at the point where he's had that belt, the transatlantic? No. It's the Intercontinental belt. He's had that for so long, and he's had so many matches, and he's getting more and more beat up, and he's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Another massive success. Pac keeps disappearing. Stop making Pac disappear. Have Pac win. Pac is the best. I was so excited for Pac, and like straight out the gate, they just had him murder Kenny Omega and stuff, and I was like, Pac is, again, feels a bit like Miro. Like, he's a guy you can just push and he can go right to the top. But they've not done so far. Love me some Pac. Penta and Rey Fenix, the Lucha Bros, the most entertaining tag team in all of AEW. I love these guys. Oh my god, they fight without ego. They don't care if they win, they don't care if they lose. They just come out to have as much fun in every match as possible. And, it means so much to have guys like them on the card. I love everything about them. I will often shout at my TV, Zero Miera, while he's doing it. It's so awesome. Powerhouse Hobbs. Guy needs a push. Guy needs a push. He's, honestly, just... He's got basically everything except the win streak. So, it's time to give him that win streak. Ricky Starks, same thing. That guy... I think Ricky's problem, his energy is incredibly different to MJF's, but I think he's got the same problem as people see him as a charisma / promo guy. The guy's also a spectacular wrestler. I'm hoping he wins the Owen, but I think CM Punk's going to turn heel on him and win that way. Riho, another one of my favourites in the women's division. Where the hell has she been? It was a little tiresome hearing JR talk about her being 98 pounds in every single match, because her entire thing is Riho kicks out lol. And that's not necessarily a character trait I like in my wrestling, but with Riho it works so goddamn well because she is so small. It's like, oh my god, she's just been murdered. Kicks out, lol. I'm going to knee you in the face now and win. Love her. Ruby Soho, again, keeps feeling like she keeps getting to a level and then losing, mostly to Britt Baker. Again, her time will come. She will have that AEW Women's Championship. There's a part of me, I don't know how much legs the Outcasts have got. I think they're a fun idea, but I like Ruby as a face, and I like singing her song. Sammy Guevara, another guy who just needs... I don't know if the feud that they seem to be going with is Jericho's the thing that's going to really get him over. Or I don't think now is the time to do the split feud with Jericho to get him over. If that makes sense. Because where's he going to go after that? I think Guevara is a guy who is above the mid-card belts. I think he's waiting for his time in the main event. And I don't think it's yet. But it's coming. Scorpio Sky is great. I want to see this new version of Scorpio Sky because the last version was missing something. Sting is a legend. Sting is awesome. I can't believe what Sting is doing at this age. He's phenomenal. Well, no, that's AJ Styles, but Sting is incredible. Tay Mello, again, really came to love her through her friendship with Anna Jay. It got them both over with me because it let you see their characters and let you see them through their characters. Fantastic wrestler. Again, time will only make her better. Thunder Rosa, incredible wrestler. It's again just a matter of time. I hope whatever's going on with her clears up because only a matter of time before she gets back in that main event and wins everyone over once again. Phenomenal presence, phenomenal character, absolutely phenomenal wrestler in every way, shape or form. We talked about Trent Beretta. Wardlow, Tony can't book the guy. Yay! The laziest wrestler, who was played by me, I might add. One. That feels as it should be. That feels as it should be. Yeah, sorry. Wardlow, Tony can't book the guy. I don't know what else to say. He's got pretty much everything. He just needs the booking. And Yuka Sakazaki, who you just saw, she's absolutely fantastic. But needs more screen time. But yeah, that's the roster of AEW Fight Forever up to this point, not including the DLC. This game is so much more fun than I was expecting it to be. I'm really glad I took the time and made the purchase. I hope showing some of this footage, I hope seeing a bit of the gameplay and everything, like... I hope it gets over kind of how manic it feels and how quite button mashy it feels. But yeah, this is I consider this a really good time and has been a very good investment of my money for what I want from it. I don't want something I'm going to put 50 hours into and play avidly. I want something that I'm going to pick up, play for 20 minutes here and there, and always have a good time with. So yeah, that's my thoughts on AEW Fight Forever. Bye bye.